Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about a very important topics. As you know that the 10th class CBSE subject biology, we know that in 10th standard there is complete science textbook. There is no separations like a biology, chemistry, physics, or likewise. So here we have this chapter that is called the life process. As you know that this chapters is very important to understand us because it has a good weightage, as well as this chapter teaches about the various life process. As you know, we have the various system in our body and that has to be maintained properly. If you can't or fail able to maintain this all life process, so definitely the life is become a more threatened. So today we will understand how this life process are very essential for us and why we have to maintain it, and if any process is being disrupted, so definitely what are the outcomes and what is the possible threat we're going to suffer of. So generally, as you know, there are life process in our body which has to be maintained by any living organism. As you know, what is the life process? So life process is nothing but a kind of various essential processes of inner side of our body that has to be maintained. So if that life process is not maintained, so definitely there is a chance that our life become more threatened, more suffering. To avoid all these things, what we need to do is to maintain them properly. You see, whenever you are doing a vigorous exercise, that time also you see your heartbeat is very high. But when you are sleeping also, that time your body also working. So what is actually happening there? You see, your heartbeat is beating that time also, your lungs also working that time also, your kidney also filtering the blood. So all these processes are going inside your body and they require the food. If you can't get a essential nutritious food, so definitely you will going to suffer. So let's we understand what are the various very essential life process in our body and how they works inside our body. We'll see this all life process we have to maintain, and therefore why we have to maintain for maintaining for the survival of living organism. Okay, so if the living organism has to survive on this earth planet, they has to maintain it. There is no any kind of shortcuts, or there is no chance of to not to protect it. We have to protect it. Okay, so next point is that what are the broad categories of the life process. As you know, in the NCERT textbook, especially the CBSE textbook, we found that there are 4 major categories has mentioned. So strictly we are going according to the 10th CBSE syllabus. We are not going to the any other syllabus. So as you know that the broad categories of the life process are the nutrition. See, this is a very important topics. That is why it is nutrition is most important, because if you can't able to eat food, if you can't able to get food, you have no chance to survive. Same way we will see that the nutrition. So what is the nutrition is actually is nothing but the way of obtaining the food and the way of to get enriched with the food and to able to get energy to do maintain the various life process. As you know, there are 2 major categories of the nutrition, and that 2 major categories are is nothing but the autotrophic nutrition as well as the heterotrophic nutrition. So here we're going to discuss autotrophic nutrition. So what is this? The autotrophic nutrition is nothing but one of the types of the nutrition where there is another one in the this nutrition is generally found in the plants only. Where? Into the plants only. Okay, so then the nutrition is another one type that is called the heterotrophic nutrition. So where this heterotrophic nutrition is found is nothing but into the animal. Okay, so what is this actually the heterotrophic nutrition? Okay, so what is this heterotrophic nutrition and autotrophic nutrition? If you see, the autotrophic nutrition is nothing but a kind of living organism which can prepare their own food. That is called as autotrophic nutrition. Okay, so they are generally plants. So what is the heterotrophic nutrition? The heterotrophic nutrition is nothing but a kind of nutrition where the organism depends on another organism to get the food, to maintain their life process. So that is generally the example is animal. Okay, so therefore you see the respiration. So respiration is nothing but a kind of life process where the living organism has to maintain continuously to survive, such as this life process is present most of all the living organisms